Hey everyone, I'm Alyssa, an Indianapolis Colts cheerleader for the 2024 season, and this is Believe in Colts.
Welcome back to Believe in Colts. I'm Lawrence Owen, and holy crap. All right, so we got a lot to uncover here. First off, yesterday's game against the Cardinals was quite interesting. The messed up thing is a lot of negativity that came out of the game after a win. After a win, Colts fans are blowing up social media with a bunch of negativity because of the defense, because a backup quarterback threw for over 300 yards and scored 27 points or something, or 24 points. That's just nuts. It's crazy. And I understand where they're coming from because last year, right? I mean, for the last few years, Colts fans wanted Gus Bradley out because he had a habit of making backup quarterbacks look like absolute world beaters. Okay. And then Jacoby Brissett, former Colt player, former, starter for the Indianapolis Colts, and a backup around the league, came in for Kyler Murray with his foot injury and just lit the Indianapolis Colts up. And they didn't even have, for most part of the game, their best receiver, Marvin Harrison Jr., right? But let's just take in consideration a few things here, okay, defensively. The Indianapolis Colts was legitimately without every cornerback starter and a lot of their backups, okay? They had Chris Lamons, Mekhi Blackman, and Edwards out there playing. All three of those guys were practice squad players 2 months ago. Literally. All right. So you kind of got to look at it that way. Okay. Yes, the Colts have had some serious injuries across the cornerback position. And they're saying, "Oh, we weren't getting enough pressure." That wasn't the problem. The Colts were getting the Colts were getting pressure on Jacoby Brissett a ton, an absolute ton. The problem was when they weren't able to get pressure, and when I say a ton, I mean like damn near 50% of the passing snaps. Yes. When they weren't getting pressure, the cornerbacks just could not hold up for nothing, for absolute nothing. And it wasn't just the cornerbacks, it was the linebackers too. Okay, the linebackers can't cover crap. The running backs had 3 catches, 3 for 50 yards. Trey McBride went off on the Colts, the tight end for him. And those are generally guys that the linebackers cover. But the wide receivers were just tearing the Colts a new one. Absolutely tearing the Colts a new one. They were open all the time. Now, what I'd like to say is there are injuries, but they're not season. The Colts cornerbacks have injuries, but not season-ending injuries, right? They are expected to return. We got a concussion with Ward. He will return sooner rather than later. You have the injury to, Kenny Moore. He's expected to return in the next few weeks, hopefully. Jalen Jones expected to return. Now, he is on IR, but it's not expected to be a season-ending thing. So hopefully, he's designated to return at any time, hoping sooner rather than later. But if we just get Kenny back and Ward back, that's going to really help the pass defense a ton. I will say the Colts need a legitimate will linebacker who can cover running backs and or tight ends when they go out on routes, because the Colts haven't had a good one since Bobby Okereke. All right, so that's an issue. But this episode is not about the defense. This episode is about the Indianapolis Colts offense and the fact that they pose a problem that the NFL has yet to find a way to solve. Okay? The least amount of points the Colts have scored offensively through 6 games is against the Rams. 20 points. Legitimately had 14 points taken off the board. Should have had 34 points in that game. 34 points. They lead the NFL in points per game scored. And that's with the 14 points taken off the board from the Rams game. They still scored plenty. 31 points against a pretty darn good Arizona Cardinals defense. You look at Daniel Jones, not his best game. 22 of 30, 212, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. But Jonathan Taylor, 21 carries, 123 yards and a tug. Daniel Jones had 5 carries, 20 yards and a tug. Holy crap. This is a situation where, for a lot of the game, the Colts did not play really well offensively. But when it mattered, they went in and had their business taken care of. They beat the Arizona Cardinals. Game-winning drive, Daniel Jones on a game-winning drive late in the fourth quarter, walked down the field and got the Colts a touchdown. That's how you do it. And he wasn't doing it just by, little simple game manager quarterback side. No. He had some plays in this game that were absolute elite passing plays. Yes, he game managed most of the game, but he had a throw to Alec Pierce over the middle between 2 defenders and had to throw it behind Pierce a bit in order to get it in that little tight window with a rocket shot to give Pierce any shot at getting that ball. And Pierce, credit, bro, heck of a catch. But that was an absolute elite pass. Another pass to Josh Downs was absolutely elite pass. It was not a game managing type situation. So this narrative that Daniel Jones is only a game managing quarterback, you could throw that right out the freaking window, because when he needs to make a good play, when he needs to put the team on his shoulders and perform at a elite level, he has done that time and time again. The only time it did not happen was against the Rams when they were put behind 14 points by, I'm not going to say his name. And then late in the fourth quarter, he was trying to get down the field, right? Trying to get down the field and just threw a prayer shot, 50-50 ball up, and it got intercepted. Is what it is. Well, let's talk about this team and why they are so dominant right now. Let's talk about how dominant they actually are. The Colts right now lead the NFL in expected points for an offense. Expected points contributed by the entire offense, 94.55. That is a healthy margin. A 6-point margin over the next closest team, the Dallas Cowboys, at 88.42. That's something to be proud of. They lead the NFL in points scored, 194. They're second in the NFL in total yards, 2,261 yards. Only the Cowboys have more. Yards per play, they're tied with Seattle for number 1 in the NFL, 6.3. My good. Turnover percentage. Let's look at that. Turnover percentage. Still top 10. Top 10. 7.4%. This is a really, really good team. They're top 3 in rushing yards. Jonathan Taylor leads the NFL in rushing yards, rushing touchdowns, rushing just about everything that you could possibly think of. Okay. There's things that Daniel Jones leads the NFL in. Passing success rate, which means it's a successful pass that gains at least 40% of the yards required for a first down, 60% of a second down, or 100% on third or fourth down. He leads the NFL. 56.8% of his passes meet that criteria. That's impressive. Let's talk about sack percentage. All right. The number of times, the percentage of times sacked as opposed to attempted passes. He's only been sacked 2.7% of the time. Leads the NFL in that category. Bo Nix, believe it or not, is second. It's just unreal. He's second in net yards gained per pass attempt at 7.9 yards. He's got 2 fourth quarter comebacks. He's got 2 game-winning drives this season alone. And he's doing this with a 71.7 completion percentage. When was the last time the Indianapolis Colts saw a 71.7 completion percentage? That's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. The offensive line is blocking their butts off. Can't do it all the time. He still gets pressures because teams are blitzing the holy mother out of Daniel Jones in order to try to make him make a mistake, which he's not doing. He leads the NFL in pressure rate percentage and in pressure rate percentage success rate. Ridiculous. Jonathan Taylor, of course, out here running over everybody that he possibly can, leading the NFL in touchdowns and rushing yards and just about any other metric that you could possibly think of. This is an amazing offense. And there's not a team out there that's been able to stop it. Why? Because they're a complete offense. An absolute complete offense. Everybody's always known the Colts have a really good offensive line. Jonathan Taylor is getting over 3 yards per carry after contact. After contact. Holy crap. Like I said, Daniel Jones is the most one of the most pressured quarterbacks in the NFL and still has the best passer rate against pressure. This is ridiculous what the Indianapolis Colts are doing right now. And what we need to do is give it up. Quit moving the bar. So many analysts out there are just moving the bar. Well, I can't believe in the team until they actually beat a good team. Denver don't count because field goals. Well, they should have bought the Rams, but they didn't. But they're blowing out bad teams. But they're bad teams. Come on now. They played some pretty darn good defenses in the NFL. I'm going to tell you what. The most points that the Colts put up the most points that a team has given up, opponent-wise, 4. 4 out of their 6 games that they played against, they put up the most points that team has given up all year. They are absolutely dominating teams offensively. Doesn't matter. Good defense, bad defense, doesn't matter. If it's a bad defense, they really pour the points on. How far is this offense going to take them? That's another question, right? Are they going to still be legitimate in the playoffs? Well, I will say this. The 2 things that you absolutely need in the playoffs is a damn good run game and a good defense. And the Colts have a damn good run game. The defense, however, they need to get healthy. And maybe make a move to solidify another position on the team, whether it's cornerback, whether it's linebacker, maybe an elite pass rusher. Maybe. That way, Lou Anarumo doesn't have to send all these blitzes to manufacture pressure. They're still top 10 in sacks. All right. They're pretty good against the run. I know a lot of you think that they're not, but they're still middle of the pack against the run. That's not bad. They held a team to 3.4 yards a carry against the Cardinals. Any NFL team in the league would take only allowing 3.4 yards per carry. Any. So we could get something done, taken care of by the trade deadline. Now, honestly, if they get it done this week, that would be nice because the Chargers are coming up, okay, and they are a definite playoff team. Then I think the Colts could have something good happen. This could be a magical year for the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts fans haven't seen a team this complete all around since the Manning days, since the mid-Manning days, not early Manning days, not late Manning days, mid, when we were leading the NFL in wins, offensive yards, making huge deep playoff runs every year, that type of situation. That's the kind of team that the Colts are right now, or at least that's what they appear to be. And you are what you are what your record is, right? That is the famous quote. You are what your record is. And they right now sit atop alone, currently atop the AFC with the number one seed, the only 5-1 team until tonight's game. Anyhow, we'll see what happens there. But as of right now, due to all the tiebreakers and stuff, they are legitimately the number one team in the NFL. They've got it listed. They sit atop all of them. Now, are they ranked that way in power rankings? No. Why? Because there are a lot of people still going, are they real? Is this for real? You are what your record says you are. I get a lot of the teams that they played haven't been the best. But this offense is for real. Daniel Jones is a perfect fit for Shane Steichen. Tyler Warren was like a missing piece at the tight end position. The wide receiving room, when healthy, you got Michael Pittman, who is a sure-handed free-range guy. You got Josh Downs, who's the shifty slot guy, absolutely amazing at getting first downs. And Alec Pierce, who has been the deep threat, has evolved into a more complete wide receiver over the last 4 years. He is now out there making these mid-range first down catches that are just ridiculous. He's got a lot of highlight plays that are not 50 yards downfield. This year alone, give the man credit. He's going to get a really big payday at the end of this year. So is Daniel Jones. Hope they're with the Colts. I really do. I don't know if the salary cap will allow it, but I really hope that they stay with the Indianapolis Colts. I think that's what's going to go for this episode. Guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, please smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, tag that notification bell so that you are notified next time I go live or upload a video. And if you're listening to this on an audio podcast, please rate and review because that will help a ton. Help get this out to more people because you are my best way of doing that. And I very much appreciate that. And until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen. This was Believe in Colts. And as usual, go Colts.
Do you believe?